computer. Okay. So last week, Friday, I emailed everyone their credentials to log into the Zoom account, and then provided links as well as the meeting ID and password to their courses. So I'm gonna share my screen so that way I can show you, and that way we can go through the email and any questions that you may have. Okay, so I'm just using this one room as an example, but it's basically the same for every room, okay? So every class has been associated to a classroom, whether it's 19B, 19A, things like that. So logging into Zoom, like straight, like if you have the web version, if you go in through the web, which is the zoom.us, or the application through the computer, you're logging in as this email right here. So this information right here should not be given to students. This information right here should not be given to students. This is the information you're using to log into the Zoom account. Okay? So
Marie, I have a
yes.
question.
Yes.
If we have a Zoom account through another university, I have one through Columbia.
Okay.
Is that going to interfere? I'm appearing.
Hi Jane.
Hi,
did you give me the link?
I don't think I did.
Send me the link.
Okay.
And the meeting ID and the password, and I can have Craftins update it. And it is a license account, right?
Yeah, it's a pro account.
Okay, yeah. So send me the information, and I can have Craftins update the information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But to everyone else, because we ran out of licenses, so we assigned a license to each classroom to make it somewhat a little bit easier. So when you're logging into Zoom, you're going to log in using the email address. Some of you have more than one course. So you would then log into that classroom that course was associated to. Yes, Sophia, you can ask a question.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but
okay.
I was under the impression that all CUNY faculty had access to the professional Zoom account. So I have a colleague at Queens College just gave me the directions, and I did it, and it worked. So I have a professional CUNY account now.
So you have a professional account as well?
Yeah, I mean, I can share the link with everyone. It seems to work.
No.
Regardless of where you are.
Wait. You got your professional account through who?
Through a link my Queens College colleague gave me, but it's CUNY wide. I shared it.
I also got one through that link. Yeah, Sophia gave it to me as well.
Who provided that? I don't even know about that.
I mean, I sent it to Melanie immediately, just so you guys know, but she didn't respond.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we could. I think for the purpose of these courses, though, we should probably use this login.
I thought that too, and then she's gonna use her Columbia one, right? So wouldn't it make sense for us to use our CUNY login?
Well, not all the CUNY logins have a license, because we ran out of licenses, because other offices at the campus also have licenses. So we thought it would be easier to assign each classroom a license and then just give the credentials to the professors teaching in that room. So, okay. So for this room, there are 3 professors teaching in it. There's someone on Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So basically, if Maria logs in on Monday, she's gonna log in through the classroom. But this information here is the information that hold on. I don't know, why can I not move it? Okay. So this, oh my God. Here we go. So here is the information that will get sent out to the students. If you choose on sending them an email in advance, you're gonna send them this information. This is the meeting ID as well as the meeting password. Or you can give them this link because this is the link that's on the Blackboard for each course. Each link is different. So if they go in through Blackboard, they can click on the Zoom link and it'll take them into the class. If a student logs in and manually types in the Zoom class, the Zoom meeting ID as well as the password, this will be the information you would provide them. I believe when you if they log in using the Zoom meeting ID and the password, they show up in the waiting room. Whereas if they click on the link, it takes them directly into the classroom. On these accounts, everyone, oh, yes, Steve?
I can hold my question for a moment if you want, but I realized that I use Zoom quite a bit, but I'm probably using a free unlicensed version, and I'm not unclear as to where we put in that login that we started with.
Okay, so
I don't want to get too far ahead because when I log into, when I join a meeting, it's just fine, but I know that it doesn't last for more than an hour or something like that if it's an unlicensed.
on the free account, it's 40 minutes.
Right.
So these are licensed accounts, so there's no time limit.
But where does it ask for that information, like the login that you sent us? I see.
So I'll show you right now.
Like if you were to click on that link today, they would say if you're a host, log in. That's the Zoom screen that would pop up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the
click login and then use that password, and that's how it works.
So okay. So if you log in using the web version, you would click under sign in, and then you would enter the email address here as well as that password. So the email address, I'm gonna use, which one was that? That was 1918? Hi, Melanie, take over.
Hi, everybody. Sorry for my tardiness.
Take over, Melanie.
Well, no, you were doing such a great job. I didn't want to interrupt.
Diane, I'm actually still waiting to find out from Central what's the holdup on the creating of the email addresses. I know you, Steve, both Steves and Frank still does not have their SLU emails. That gets generated from CUNY Central. Steve, you got another question, or that was from the previous question?
That's from the previous one. I'll take my hand down.
Okay.
Yep. I have a question. I mean, I have a web account. I have a Zoom account, and I guess I'm already signed in. And I just have a thing that says schedule new meeting, join, share screen. Do I have to sign out and start over again?
Melanie, you want to take that?
Well, it's not necessarily a start over again. Like the other account, the room account, will already have your class pre-listed in it. So I don't know if Marie, go ahead.
I mean, but what do I click on? Do I have to, right now it says new meeting, schedule, join, share screen. And it has, my email address. And if I press schedule, it has, I schedule a meeting using, I guess, my current account. So
Right.
the question is, do I have to sign out, or what do I do to?
Yes, you would have to sign out of, you'd have to sign out of your account and sign into the room account. Like Marie was showing you, you can go to,
I have to,
yeah. You can go to
Okay.
here, sign in. The room keys have been sent out to everybody, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Right.
And then when you sign in, like for say this is classroom A, you'll see already the set up meetings for all of the classes that will be taking place in that classroom. So then when it's your meeting and your class time, all you would have to do is click start. And then these meeting IDs are the links that will be linked to the students' Blackboard accounts.
They have
So
already been done, Melanie.
It's already been done for
Yes.
all of them.
Yes.
So when the students go into Blackboard, they'll have on the side, as part of one of their assignments, they'll have their Zoom classroom, and they can click straight through into the class at that time.
And Mel, I don't know if you see, there's 3 people here that logged in using the SLU rooms. So I told them that's how they would log into their class that evening.
Perfect. Let me see who they are.
I'm guilty.
It's Andy, Peggy, and Melinda.
Great. Okay, that is exactly how you would do it during class time. Just be aware that 2 people can't be signed in to that account at the same time.
No, look at Melinda's in 19B, and so is Andy.
19B.
Yeah, I had that face too.
Yeah, because last time I attempted that, it bounced one person out.
Well, shall I get off? And
No.
I mean, if you can do more than one account, more power to you.
Okay.
Just last time I attempted to do that with Zoom, it bounced one person out. But yes, so if you can log in through your Zoom classroom that was assigned to you with the username and password that was given, which is super easy. It's just room, lowercase, key, capital, and your room number. All of the classes are pre-listed in that room. And those are the classes that the students have been instructed to, or the students have had their Blackboard accounts linked to.
Now, Melanie, Sophia has said she got information from Queens College about that. Do you know anything about that?
About what?
Queens College Zoom account.
Melanie, I sent it to you. It's not a Queens College, it's just I found out from Queens College, but they told me that all CUNY faculty have access to professional Zoom accounts. And
they're working on it. We don't have the go ahead for that yet, and I don't know when that's coming through.
Well, me and Joel did it, so we have them now.
Okay, cool. Through SLU or through Queens College?
Through cuny.zoom.us. So it was not associated with any specific.
Okay, so it's straight through CUNY?
It's cuny.zoom.us, and you use your CUNY first, and it was very quick. So
okay, so they're working on that. So that's, yeah, Jeff told me yesterday that we were in the process of getting it for SLU. I did not know that it already went through. So
right, same here.
Yeah. So if that does go through, we'll do one of these again. This was just for the Zoom rooms because we did not know when that was going to be coming through. So we had to come up with a plan for the limited amount of licenses that we did get.
Do we know what happened with Zoom for 5 hours yesterday?
It went down, essentially. Zoom sent me an error report that they had something in their own coding, in their own format, went wonky, and it was down for a while, but they fixed it, and then they sent out an apology email to every Zoom user, so you all should have received that. Just saying, sorry, our bad.
Mel, were you able to create like a manual just for the Zoom rooms?
I was not, no.
Okay, all good, don't worry.
Yeah, this was gonna be the one-on-one training for the Zoom rooms, and then we were gonna keep this recording up for anybody who missed this meeting or tomorrow's meeting. Are there any
Okay, I'm still trying to figure this out.
Yes.
I just signed in, and what do you do next after you've signed in?
You signed in under the classroom?
I think so. I mean, I used the key and the room.
Okay, so go to meetings.
It has new meeting or schedule.
No, just schedule, just meetings.
I don't see it saying meetings. It
Are you able to move your?
Oh, I see. Yes, I do. Okay, I see it. Yes, recurring meetings. Yes, got it.
There you go. There's your class.
I see. And you just click on that.
Yep, and you could click on the button that says start right next to it.
But for your class.
Yes.
Please make sure it's your class.
Yes.
Right. Got it.
In the description of all the courses, it has the professor teaching it, if for any reason they're similar sounding courses.
Anyone has any questions? Something that you want us to go over again? The free for all.
Yeah. Because Sophia, now that you have the CUNY login, that's fine, but the students have been given the Zoom room attached to this other account.
Yeah. I'm not telling them anything different, but you know, there are advantages of doing it through your account. So it's frustrating that it didn't happen at the same time because
alas,
I control my own.
If we got it yesterday, which is 2 days before the start of semester, which is too close to call for most of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Too close for comfort for most of us. All right, so are there any specific Zoom questions? I know most of you used Zoom last semester. Almost everything is the same from the manual, from everything. Over the summer, they did change the security feature so that if you are a host, there's an extra button that labels security that allows you to let people share screen, rename themselves, unmute, where you can lock the meeting, where you can enable the waiting room, where you can remove an unruly participant. All of that's now been put in one location.
Does everyone know how to use the breakout rooms?
Say it again?
Does everyone know
that was my question.
Whose question?
She said, how do we use breakout rooms? And yeah, the breakout rooms was my question. Thanks.
Okay. So for breakout rooms, give me 1 second. I can pull up the guide. Share screen. So this is the guide for hosts that everybody should have. And if not, I will put it in the chat. All right. So for breakout rooms, as the host, you'll have an additional option on your toolbar all the way to the right that says breakout rooms. Once you click breakout rooms, this pop-up window will appear that says how many participants you're assigning to how many rooms. You can assign them automatically, in which the program will just put them in whatever room wherever, or you can put manually and then you can choose where to put them. Once you have how many rooms that you want, you hit create rooms. Then this window will appear and you'll have the option to assign next to a room who goes in that room. So if you click assign, it'll come out with an additional person underneath and you can click yes, this person for this room, etc. and so forth.
So Melanie, I could never find the toolbar with the breakout rooms last semester.
As the host for the meeting?
Yeah.
It should be all the way to the right.
Wait, but I can't see it on this because I'm not the host, right?
Correct, yes.
So show me again up here. Whoops.
No, I brought it out. Marie, could you make Diane the host very quickly so that she can
That's
see
Melinda.
it on her
Wait, that was Melinda asking, right?
Oh, yeah. Melinda.
Okay, I'll do that right now. Please hold. Sorry, I tend to sing. Oh, wait, Melinda, you're 19B, right?
She's one of the 19Bs, yes.
So there's two. Melinda, real quick, raise your hand so that way I know what, not literally. If you
raise your hand in the chat.
Participants, there's a raise hand only because there's two 19Bs right now. And I want to make sure I make the correct 19B, the host.
Wait, just hit raise hand, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make you host.
All right, I'm gonna lower my hand now.
Yeah.
All right, you should be host now.
Do you see your toolbar on the bottom?
I see it. I don't know why it never appeared for me on other times. I see it, it's fine.
That's where it will be.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
That was easy.
Now, can you make me host again?
No, you can reclaim host, Marie.
Oh, I can? Sweet.
You can just take it back.
That's rude.
Will there be, will you be around the first couple of weeks?
I will be on call for the first 2 weeks. Basically I will have office hours up until 7 o'clock because most of your classes start like at 6:15. Is that about right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll be available till 7 in case there's any glitches or any issues.
Do we all have your phone number?
I can put it in the chat.
Melanie, I can't steal host back from her.
It doesn't let you?
Mm-mm.
No, I still have the breakout room thing.
Melinda, do me a favor. On the participants, hover over my name and then click more.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find you. Okay, more.
And then make host.
Make host. And then I could change host.
You did it.
Hooray. Okay, so I'm putting my number in the chat now.
Melanie, I've got a question. It's Diane.
Of course, go ahead.
Thanks. So about the breakout rooms, so is there a bit to the instructions that, so let's just say I do automatic, right? So it automatically just assigns names.
Correct.
And then is there how do we know how long in terms of time, you know, like 10 minutes, where do we assign that?
Right here. When you have this window come up, you can click options and you can choose to have breakout rooms close automatically after so much time. And after that period of time, there will be a countdown that you can also change the time of, where you're like, okay, breakout room close in 30 minutes. So at the 30-minute mark, all participants are given a countdown that says, okay, you've got 60 seconds to exit and come back to the meeting, or you will be done, or you will be brought back automatically, which gives them like a minute to like wrap up anything that they're talking about, finish any discussion, and then they're automatically brought back into the main meeting.
Okay, thanks.
You can also allow participants to return to the room at any time, which is this second one right here. I don't know if you all can see my mouse. But right there, it allows you to choose exactly when. You can give them the option to come back whenever, essentially. So you can be like, after 30 minutes and you're in the room for 30 minutes, no questions, and then you come back. And again, you can change that time 5, 10, 15 minutes, however. Or you can give them the option of whenever they're finished in their room, they can come back to the main session.
Melinda has a question.
Yes.
So I think I know how to do this, but the share, so like if I have videos I want to upload, I have, the only way to do it is to do it in advance and then upload it, do the share screen, and then put the name of the video on it, and then it will upload.
Uploading, like sending a video to your students, or sharing a video with your students?
Sharing a video with the students during the class discussion.
Yes, you would have to have it preset. So in the case that it's like on YouTube or it's a web video,
right,
what you'd have to do is have the window up already, share the window with that on it, and make sure that you have share computer sound and optimize screen sharing turned on.
Share window. Say that again, have.
And then here you can just have, and then you can share it straight from here.
Okay, but you said make sure you have
the site open before you share.
Yes, here, I'll get to the section in the guide and I will show you.
You said site open, but also sound and.
Here we go. So when you share a screen, when you hit the share screen option, you choose your video window, let's say, and this one it's a PowerPoint example, but you'll have a screen that looks just like this. You choose your video window, and then what you'd have to do is make sure that these two are checked. Share computer sound and optimize screen sharing for video clip.
And how did you get your little presentation in that window, in the red circled window? Oh, because it was just.
Oh, I just have it open on my desktop.
Perfect.
So if you have multiple files open on your desktop, they'll be stacked in a row, and you just click whichever one you want to open.
Is there a limit to the number of files you can have open at one time ready to go?
Say it again?
Is there a limit to the number of open files you can have stacked if you're going from one to another?
Not that I have found. No.
Okay. Does that,
And if you're sharing multiple files, I'd recommend then instead of hitting share a particular, like instead of sharing a particular screen, you can share your whole desktop by clicking this first option here, and then they will see anything that is on your desktop. If you're doing multiple presentations or multiple things in a row, I recommend that. If you're just doing one, it's a little bit safer so that, let's say you've got your email up and your bank account statements and you've got music playing and whatnot. If you share everything, basically anything you can see, the Zoom room can see.
okay. Now, does that include, if I want to have a video up in a DVD that's on my computer, can I have that ready to go also?
Yes, yes, you can. As long as you have it like up and open, you should be able to use it.
Okay.
Claudia, yes, I know we've had some back and forth issues with doing exactly this thing in your class.
My question's on something else, actually.
Okay.
Making a student a co-host, or
Yes.
students if they're going to present.
Mm-hmm.
So it's set up automatically that we're the only co-host?
It's set up automatically.
We're the only host, sorry.
You're the only host, correct.
So we can, as you just did with Melinda, we can have somebody else just in the class. You make them the host, and then you hope they'll give it back to you.
Well, you can make them the
you
co-host.
can reclaim host. You can reclaim host. If you hit more on the screen, as the host or co-host, you should have invite, mute all, more. And if you're the original host, it'll give you an option to reclaim host.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Marie couldn't do that because you were the original host.
Because I'm the original host, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm staring at that option right now.
Okay.
Let's see, watch. I can now take the hosting back from Marie. I've stolen it from her.
Such a meanie.
Right?
Here, I'm going to give it to you, Claudia.
No, I don't want it.
But you could also make people co-hosts as well.
You can give people co-hosts. So now you have the option.
I see.
Okay. So then just click next to any given name, and then you can hit make co-host.
I have a question somewhat related to that.
James Steele is now co-host.
There you go, Jim. Now you're co-host.
Go, James. Oh, snap.
All right. What was the other question, Joel?
I've never taught at SLU. How much sort of competency should I assume of the students with Zoom? Like, if I make them a co-host, would they know how to share screen and all that, or?
It varies.
Okay.
It varies per student and per class. Typically, what I've had people do is like have them volunteer, like, because some of them have been using Zoom for happy hours, let's say, or to visit loved ones in the hospital during, this terrible time. Like, some of them have enough familiarity with it that they can at least, monitor the waiting room and monitor the chat for you. Mm-hmm. So just ask them. Don't be like, you're my co-host now. There's like, whoever has enough capability and whoever is willing and able to take a little bit out of their class time for that extra function, that's who I would offer it to.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. And I will make sure that the co-host setting is on for everybody who has an SLU family account, like an SLU account within the family, because I don't believe it's an automatic setting. So I would have to go through and make sure all of you guys have it in your settings turned on, that you have the ability to make somebody a co-host.
Okay.
Also, I just wanted to touch on office hours.
Yes.
When you're meeting with your students, you should use your own a SLU account if you've created one. I think Melanie, you'll know who has created a SLU account.
Yes.
But it's definitely encouraged that you create a free account using your SLU email account and use that for office hours, not the classroom.
Because it might coincide with somebody else's teaching times.
And is that the SLU account that we had from the
Yes.
spring?
It will be your email account.
Yeah. So what's the new thing that they're doing is something with CUNY Central, but you should have one with the slu.cuny.edu email. Does anybody not have one of those?
I don't know if I have one because I think that was part of the whole problem in the spring.
Didn't we reset your SLU password, Melinda? I thought we did.
I think we did.
Do you still remember it?
Yes.
Okay.
So just
is there any reason why I can't use personal email, my personal email for office hours and such?
I mean, you can. The only pro to having it under the SLU family is that then I have access to all of your settings and all of your meetings. And if you need any assistance with that, then I can do it from my end. If you use your own personal account, I can't see anything.
Right. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the only reason. If you feel confident that you can set up meetings, that you can manage your own settings, that you know what you want to do with Zoom and how you want to do it, feel free to use your personal account.
It wouldn't be for Zoom. It would be just for office hours.
Office hours, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it may be that a student just wants to talk to you, and you can just use the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Just use FaceTime, right?
Yeah, that's
or
all.
FaceTime. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Then that would mean your students have
simpler.
your phone number. I don't know.
I give my phone numbers on my syllabus. I've done that for years. I just do it.
Same.
I got myself a Google Voice, so that is the number that I've given you all. So it routes into my phone number, but it's not my phone number. So if anybody wants tips on how to do that, I made a guide about that as well, how to set up a Google Voice.
I'd rather not.
Is it free?
Say it again?
Is it free?
It's absolutely free, yes.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Here, I'll pop it in the chat in case any of you are interested. I've already put in the chat the Zoom for Hosts guide.
Say that again.
The guide for Zoom, using Zoom for Hosts, which is what I gave out last semester. I've put it in the chat again for all of the new people and for anybody who needs a quicker access to it. And for those interested in putting together a Google Voice phone number, I've put my guide in the chat for that as well.
Very good.
Thank you.
No worries. I am here to help. We have a hand up from Stephen.
You may have answered this, but you alluded to the fact that if we randomly log on and it's not the time of our class, we could be logging into someone else's class.
Yes.
If we wanted to just experiment and play around with being able to share co-hosting and things like that, if we do that before Wednesday, well, if we do that this afternoon,
honestly,
or if we do it at like 2 in the morning, is that okay?
If you do it any day before 6 p.m. and maybe not on a Friday, you should be fine unless somebody else is testing out the room at the exact same time.
Okay, but that would just be,
yeah.
You know,
but if you log on like between 6 and 9 on any day that's not your class, somebody else is probably using the classroom at that time.
Okay.
Yes, I had my hand up before. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Andy and then Jim.
Okay, thank you. What I want to do before Thursday morning, which is my first class, is to send a blanket email to my entire class, which I've done already with the syllabus, but I want to send them the appropriate link to get onto this Zoom.
Yes.
So could I share the screen? Because I have a question about the stuff that I was sent prior to this meeting.
Of course. There you go.
Okay. You see it?
Not yet. You have to hit share.
Okay. Let me. There it is. See it now?
Yes.
Okay. You see what I highlighted in yellow?
Yes.
Now, is that the information that I send to the students?
No. You sent them the invite link.
The one below that's in purple.
Yes.
Okay. And what I show in yellow highlighting is what I use myself to log in?
Correct, which is what you've done, which is what you've used to log in already to this meeting. Yeah.
So just send them that one link, and they will go into a waiting room until I admit them.
No, I do not have waiting rooms turned on. I have passwords turned on. Would you
Okay.
like a waiting room?
No, I don't think I'll need it. I mean,
Okay.
in other words, they will have to enter that password, but they'll have it.
Right.
And that's fine. I don't need them to wait in a waiting room.
Yeah.
If they
There's
get on.
There is no waiting room, but the meeting will not start until the host logs in, and the host is you through this login for the room.
Okay. Now, if you look below where my name is, in roughly the middle of the page,
yes,
there's a Zoom class number. Do they need to use that also?
That is, if they don't have the link, they can log in with the Zoom class number and the password, which is their Hegis code. So sometimes if you log in from your desktop, it'll be like, what is your meeting ID? What is your password? Okay. So if they're logging in that way, they would need that 10-digit code and then the password, which in your case would be NYTW301 because it's the Hegis code. And that's across the board for all the classes. Your Hegis code is the login password.
So they don't put that room key 19B in as a password.
No, that's how you log into the.
That's how you log in.
Oh, okay. So NYTW.
But you'll notice that the link that we're sending has the password embedded in it. So all they have to do is click the link, and that will put them in your classroom.
All right, because I'm going to send that to them probably tonight so they can see it, because we want to be good to go Thursday morning. Okay, thank you.
No worries. And then that same link is what's embedded in your personalized Blackboard.
Okay. Well, I'm not using Blackboard, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, if the students have access to Blackboard, which I think all the students technically should, they can link to Zoom straight from there. Otherwise, yes, that is their link.
Okay, and I have one final question. Is there a way to get on this just using a phone link as opposed to a laptop if that's the only thing they have available?
Yes, yes, there is. There is a Zoom phone number for New York, and then it will ask them to put in the room code and password using
I've seen it.
Text. Yeah, I can pull it up for you. It's the same for any student. It's the same for any meeting technically. There we go.
Oh, okay.
It is.
All right, I'm not going to encourage them to do that, but there may be an occasion when that may be their only option.
Yeah, here. So it's 646-5588-656.
Could you repeat that, please?
It's in the chat. I put it in the chat.
All right, and is the chat accessible after this? Can I get back onto it if I have to?
If you would like to save the chat, there's 3 little dots right next to where you would enter your chat message, and it has an option to save the chat.
Okay, very good.
Wait, the number you just put up in the chat?
Yes.
Wait, what was that number again?
That is a phone number that students can use to call into the meeting if they are having any issues. So if they have problems with Zoom and they can't get into their Zoom meeting, they can call that number and then put their Zoom class number code in there and a hashtag, and that should get them into the meeting.
Okay.
In the email that Marie originally sent, underneath after join Zoom meeting, it has meeting ID and then it says one tap mobile.
Yes.
I think it's the same thing. So.
That's the one tap mobile.
Okay.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Andy?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Great. Jim, you had a question for me.
Could you just run through using a PowerPoint, a video, and if it's possible, a podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. So for a PowerPoint, let me pull up my PowerPoint application. So I'd have to have my PowerPoint application open on my computer, on my desktop, with the PowerPoint that I want to share up. So then what I would do is when I go to share screen, one of the options that I'll have for available sharing is my PowerPoint. So in the example I used in the guide, See here, it'll show up as presentation 1 under PowerPoint or whatever it is. In the case of PowerPoint, you would just click that and share, and then they'll see your PowerPoint window. In the case of a video or podcast or anything online, it would be the same thing. You just have to have it open and preset, share screen. In this case, I had YouTube up. I'd click on the YouTube link, make sure those 2 little buttons on the bottom are clicked. And then, let me see, what do I have? I watch a lot of cooking.
Let me go to Big Head Joe's for you. They have the most insane burritos.
I don't much go for ethnic food.
No, trust me. They have one that's called the Meat Tornado. Literally killed a guy last year.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So just like that. And then you'll be able to see it the same way that students will see it.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Any questions?
Said from the vegan in the group.
Who's sharing screen?
I'm not, but I have a question.
Yes.
In the chat box, you said there was 3 dots at the bottom where I could save the chat. I don't see that.
Next to everyone here.
Yes.
It should look like this. Let me get to chat. Again, this is all in the guide that I sent over here. Should look like this. These 3 little dots.
Okay.
Andy.
Okay. File. Okay, I see.
And
So
right
I can
next to file, it's a dot.
Okay, and I can save that. I see it now.
Save chat.
Okay, and I can save it on my own computer then.
Yes. And I believe I haven't found this to be like a true across the board rule, but in every instance that I've tried it and somebody else has tried it, it'll typically save to your documents folder. It will create a file called Zoom, and that's where it will save all of your saved chats. And if you record any meetings to your desktop, it will also appear in that folder.
Okay, and are those copyable into a Word file if possible?
Yes, it's basically a text file.
I can show it if you like.
You'll
I'm
show
sorry?
it?
I can show it, yeah.
Great.
All right, go ahead.
So it shows up in documents.
Mm-hmm.
So it creates the Zoom folder just like that. When I click onto it, it shows all my meetings that I either have recorded or I saved the chat. So let's go to this one. So this is the chat. This is playing it back as a voice, and this is watching it.
Right, so it'll save as a video, an audio, and your chat.
Mm-hmm.
So please open the chat so they can see what it looks like.
This was my daughter's birthday party chat. A birthday party.
You gotta switch windows though.
Oh, right.
And the way to switch windows is you would just go up to your little toolbar that comes down and click New Share, and then you just click the new window.
Right.
So yeah, so this is what it looks like, Andy. It saves it as a notepad. It looks exactly like this.
Right.
Okay.
And
that's great. Okay.
And if someone sends you a message privately, it also indicates that that message was private.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be able to see if we're the host?
Yes.
And somebody sent something privately to somebody else, we don't
You will not be able to see it,
Okay.
but you can restrict them from doing that if you don't want to. So under the chat settings, as a host, if you click the dot, and you're the host, you'll get saved chat, but you'll also get these options of who your participants can chat with.
I see.
So if you don't want them chatting with anybody other than everybody or you can say they can chat with everyone publicly, but they can't send person-to-person chats.
Okay. Did anyone try that in the spring? Because I was on leave and I didn't teach. Like, how did you think about doing that or not doing that?
I didn't do that. I let them,
We let them engage with each other.
I let them engage with each other. And a lot of the times, if I'm making them into groups, they were doing a project or something, it's appropriate for them to be talking amongst themselves. So I didn't feel like I wanted to over control it, and I trusted them. So
yeah, I think that's been pretty consistent across the board. That's pretty much what everyone's been doing, except for, say, if we have like a webinar or like a large meeting, something like that, that you want them focused or you want them attentive, and then you can just take off the person-to-person feature. And then they can only chat with you. They can send you a private message, or they can send the group a message.
Right.
And thank you so much for this, and thanks so much for sharing the video. Did you have to do something special about the sound when you did the video? Because like I was trying to share a video in my summer course, and then I had to like figure it out because there was like something about putting on original sound or something. I don't know.
It's the two little buttons that feature at the bottom when you are doing your share screen. Where am I? Record, chat. Here. It's these two little buttons. So you have to make sure that these two are turned on so that you can optimize screen sharing and share your computer sound.
Okay, that's cool. You know what, I just remembered too, I think I didn't have the most recent Zoom downloaded. And so
that's also important.
Thank you for now it's all coming back to me. Thank you.
There you go. All right, do we have any other hands up?
Does everyone know how to go into and using the raise hand option in the participants window? Melinda, I can't hear you. I see you talking though.
I said I do now.
Okay.
So if you have a co-host, that's what a co-host is good for. They can be like, hey, so-and-so has their hand up. So-and-so said, asked a question in the chat. You know, we've had instances where like a lot of our students and a lot of our faculty and staff as well are not in a position where they can have their video or their audio on because they're either in a busy place or they've got kids in the house or they're in transit. So all of that said, it's really important to, if not you, have somebody keeping an eye on the chat for questions, for participation, to make sure if anyone's like stacking questions like, oh, I would like to ask something next and they don't use the hand up feature, that's pretty critical to keep an eye on during your sessions.
Yeah, I know when I start a meeting, the first thing I tell everyone is open the participants and the chat boxes and use the raise hand.
And they'll appear over here on this side. Well, first thing I tell everybody when they get in a meeting, put on grid mode so that you can see everybody at once. Everybody knows how to do that?
Which mode was that?
Grid.
Oh, okay. Yes, I see it.
Yeah, instead of active speaker, put on grid mode so you can see everybody's faces at the same time. And then you can spend the whole meeting humming the Brady Bunch theme in your head. All right. Anything else?
Also, as the host, if they have it on the grid view, you'll see the little blue hand raised on the, what's this, my left side on the window. So when Steve had his hand up, I saw it here before seeing it in the participants because it was in his video window.
Is that true for everybody or is it just for the host?
I think it's just for the host.
Okay. Could someone put their little digital hand up just so I can confirm?
No, that's a thumbs up, Sophia.
Shows how much I know. Okay.
There we go. Claudia
and Frank have their hands up. Michael has his hand up and he lowered it himself.
Yes.
Yep. That's a thumbs up. That's
so
Peggy.
Up here.
Peggy, that's a thumbs up.
I know. I can't find the hand thing in the screen.
So you have to click on the participants window on the bottom.
Oh, got it.
And then you'll see raise hand.
All right.
There
you go, Sophia.
Sweet. So yeah, so nobody can see these hands except Marie and myself, correct?
No, I could see my own hand.
Well, yeah.
Okay, you could see your own hand, but you couldn't see anybody else's hand.
Oh, okay. I see.
This is Michael. I could see a bunch of hands.
Okay, you could see a bunch of hands.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Peggy
What
got
if
it
the
now.
Yeah, 18C is
18C's got their
currently
hand
up.
up right
Yeah.
now.
I couldn't see the hands as a participant, but I would imagine I'd want the my students to see each other's hands so they know that other people are waiting. Is there a way to do that?
Let me see if that is an option.
Good question.
Oh, as a host, I can't raise my hand.
You know, as a host, I can lower all hands, but it doesn't seem to give me an option to raise lower and for everybody else to see.
But I think they'll see it in the participants window, just not on the
screen.
Right. I think that's
okay.
Michael, when you said you see everyone's hand, you see it in the participants window or on their video feed?
In the participant window.
That's what I thought.
Okay. But as the professor, I can see it on, or as the host, I can see it on the individual video screens.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna lower Peggy's hand.
Great.
We have a new student.
Oh.
Who's beautiful.
Welcome.
Welcome. Oh, who ran away?
I missed.
I had a quick question. I remember being told something about making them log in with their actual CUNY names or whatever.
Oh, yes. Just give them, make sure that they can rename themselves to their actual given human names. Because, like, sometimes we have, like, cool guy 62, and it's really hard to keep attendance for you guys if they're not using their names. So there is an option.
Okay.
Here we go. When you go under participants, let me pull up my guide so y'all can see it. Yeah.
Rename. I see.
Yeah. So you can rename them, but also if you click the more button, you have the option to allow participants to rename themselves.
Okay. But aside from, do we need a, I know you all use it for sort of attendance record. Obviously, we'll be keeping attendance as well, but
yes,
we don't need to report that out or anything, do we? Or
no, it's just for ease of access. Marie?
Only in the case where if you have not had a student come at all, then that's when we would do the what is it? The VOE, the verification of attendance, because that's important. Basically, the students never attended class. And I think that opens up, I think in 2 weeks.
Yes.
2 or 3 weeks they'll open up. And then, so that's where it's important in the beginning as well. And then we also have where if they started out attending class and then all of a sudden they stop coming to the Zoom and participating in Blackboard, then that's when Patrick's office does the early alert, like this person has stopped attending, and this person needs more writing center help or things like that. But you could also, if you realize this person just disappeared, you can reach out to the advisor in that for that class that you're teaching, and they can reach out to the student. So I'm actually working on the listing of who's the advisor for which course, because you have the undergraduate courses and the advisor is June for urban studies, whereas the graduate advisor for urban studies is Samina. So I'll provide a listing for that as well as their contact info. But I believe it's also in the faculty handbook in the folder that I sent during preterm. I can always resend it if you need just the handbook. I think that's about it.
All right. So if you need any further Zoom help, like I said, I will be on call for the next 2 weeks or so until 7 p.m. You can reach me at that number, or you can send me an email. If you have any students who are having difficulty signing into Zoom, accessing their class, anything of that sort, we'll be setting up a student Zoom training in the next week or so that I'll send out to all the faculty to make sure that their students get it in case somebody needs a refresher or needs a little bit more intensive Zoom guidance. Okay? Any final questions before we log off? I know we all have meetings to get to.
Thank you. Good job. Very good job.
Thank you so much.
All right, no worries. Thank you all for coming, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you, thank you. What
The two Michaels remain.
the two Michaels.
And then there was one Michael.
Michael? Michael? I'm gonna put him in the waiting room.
Okay. Great.
I'm gonna stop recording.